guys, it's Amy here, and today I'm going to be talking about reading a young adult fiction, and I'm going to be sharing the series I won't be finishing with you guys. So originally this video was just going to be me sharing the series with you that I don't intend on finishing, and in looking at the series that I actually have here, they all are young adult fiction, so I just wanted to discuss kind of why I think that is and just look into that a little bit more. So recently I've come across a few videos where people have been talking about moving away from YA, not necessarily completely not ever reading YA books ever again, but maybe just finding other things that they are interested in reading. Two of the videos that I really enjoyed were from Witty Novels and Chapter Stack, so I'll leave them a link down below if you want to go and watch those. So where do I come in regards to young adult fiction and how I feel towards it at the moment? Like in the last year and a half or so, I have definitely not been picking up as much YA that I was picking up when I first started my channel 3 years ago. I think if you look back then and look at the book hauls and the reviews and things that I was doing, I was definitely reading primarily YA. If you've been watching my videos since the beginning of this year, definitely you'll see that I've been picking up a lot more kind of non-fiction. I've been challenging myself to read one non-fiction book a month, and I've actually exceeded that most months. I'm also wanting to read a lot more classics, which I'm definitely doing. I've been reading 1 or 2 classics a month as well. So that's really great, and I'm feeling really great in myself in doing that. So I've thought of a few reasons as to why I have had this shift from reading primarily YA to reading a bit more adult and non-fiction and different things. One of those reasons I think is because YA is a little bit too close for comfort at the moment. Let me explain what I mean by that. So I read a lot of children and middle grade books. I really enjoy those books because I don't have any vivid memories or negative connotations with being 11, 9, however old you are when you're a child, middle grade age. So when I read children and middle grade books, I just have a good time. I really enjoy it. I really like reading those kind of books. Lemony Snicket, Harry Potter, those are the books I reread and just get real nostalgic love for those books. Whereas I found recently with YA, I'm reading the books and I'm just getting quite upset, annoyed, less upset, just more kind of frustrated. And I think that's due to the fact that I'm now 23. I was only a teenager, you know, a young adult a few years ago, and I didn't have a great time as a young adult. I didn't enjoy it, you know. I hated the kind of frustrations of not being really able to do what you want to do or see who you want to see, kind of friendships, relationships, all those things are really hard, and those are discussed in YA novels, which is great. It's a great thing for young people to read about. Also older people. I'm not saying that, you know, if you're older than a young adult then you shouldn't be reading young adult. I'm just saying at the moment for me, when I'm picking up a young adult novel, I'm just getting really annoyed. Like I'm just being reminded of all the frustrations that I had when I was a young adult, and I don't want to be reminded of those things. It's too close for comfort. So I have a feeling that maybe in 10-15 years time I might pick up a young adult novel and be like, oh yeah, it wasn't too bad being a teenager, that's fine, I love this book. But at the moment I'm just not feeling that at all, and that's where I am with it, I think. Another reason why I think at the moment I am really shifting towards adult non-fiction classics and things like that is because whilst I was a young adult, so however old you're meant to be when you're a young adult, 15 to 19, however old it is, I was in education systems, so I was doing my GCSEs, I was doing my A-levels, I was then doing a degree. All that time I was being forced to learn. I was in kind of, you know, 8-hour long days where you were being told to read and learn these things and remember these things so you can do your exams and pass and it will be good and all these things. During my GCSEs and my A-levels, I didn't read a lot for pleasure. I read a lot more during my degree because that's when I started my YouTube channel. So I feel like now I'm not in an educational system and I go to work 8 hours a day and sit in front of a computer and maybe don't engage myself as much as I would like to, that when I come home and I'm reading for pleasure, I want to be gaining these kind of facts and I want to learn a lot more. I think definitely I've had this kind of urge to pick up historical fiction or history in general. I want to feel like I'm learning and analysing and kind of thinking about the world a lot more, and I definitely didn't have that when I was studying and needing to learn these things. For instance, at the moment I'm reading a lot more non-fiction. I've joined Jean at Bookish Thoughts Feminist Orchestra book club because I want to think about these issues and kind of question the world that we live in. I've also picked up a load of history magazines because I just want to teach myself and I want to feel like I'm learning, and I have that passion now, which I don't feel I had in school, which is really great and that really excites me. me. So I think that's all I have to say on the subject at the moment. I'm sure when I'm editing I'll think of loads more things that I forgot to say. But let me know where you stand at the moment. You know, are you in your teenage years? Do you enjoy reading YA because it gives you a lot of kind of information, stuff that you haven't learned or seen or experienced yet? Like, I definitely feel that when I'm reading adult novels at the moment that I'm just gaining so much that I don't think I'm getting from YA anymore, because I'm not at that age, and I think when I'm reading about people who are my age or older that I'm gaining something, I'm gaining information, and that's really great. You know, I haven't made this video to offend anyone. If you still read YA, that is fantastic. I read YA for a really long time. I just think I'm trying to widen my kind of variety and diversity in the books that I'm reading at the moment, so I'm really excited for that, and I hope you are too. Also, if you are experiencing the same kind of shift that I am at the moment, maybe my channel will be kind of helpful, I don't know, for you, because I'm definitely kind of picking a lot more different things up and kind of sourcing out some really great things from amazing booktubers. I will leave links to all the awesome people that I watch on YouTube who really kind of get me excited for reading a lot more different things, so check out down below if you want to go and see some awesome people. Alright Amy, stop jabbering on, let's talk about the series that I won't be finishing. The first trilogy I have here is the Inkheart trilogy, and I think that is a child's series. I read the first book a few years ago. I think I'd watched the film just before reading the book, and so the book just didn't excite me because I knew what was going to happen, and I never had the urge to pick up the other two in the series. I got rid of them quite a while ago, so I know I definitely won't be picking those up. The next one is the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. I read the first 2 or 3 books in this series and really didn't enjoy them. Like, I didn't understand the hype behind these books at all. I didn't enjoy the writing style. I found them to be really just repetitive. Strangely though, I did pick up the other series, The Infernal Devices, and I read the whole trilogy and I quite liked those. Since then though, I have actually read a lot of negative things about Cassandra Clare. You can Google it if you want to go and read kind of the way she does things, and I just don't agree with that, so I know I definitely will never be picking up any of her other books. Moving on, we have Legend by Mary Lou, which is part of the Legend trilogy. I'm guessing that's what it's called. I think it's a trilogy as well. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. I read the first one. I just found it to be a quite predictable novel. I got the same kind of feelings that I had from things like The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent, like all of those things. It just felt like reading the same book, so I just didn't have any urge to pick up the next in the trilogy, and I'm pretty sure I got rid of it, and if I haven't, I definitely will be getting rid of it soon. This one I'm not completely sure on, and you can definitely tell me in the comments if you think I should carry on reading it, and that is the Lunar Chronicles. The first one is Cinder, and I read that a couple of years ago. I wasn't blown away with it, and I think like a lot of people thought it was amazing, and I definitely didn't get that feeling from it. I did, however, pick up the second book, which is Scarlet, so I do have it if I want to carry on, but I just don't know. I don't know if that kind of excitement is there anymore, and I don't know if I do want to kind of commit myself to then reading like the other 2 books in the series. Like, I don't know if I'm interested enough anymore, but let me know if you think it's something I would really like, then comment down below. The next one I have here is one that I've never started. I have owned it for a very long time, but I don't think I'm ever going to read it. I think I'm just going to give it away soon, and that's The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Yeah, as I said, I've never read it and I don't think I'm going to. And the final one I have here on my list is a trilogy from Megan Shepherd, which the first one is called The Madman's Daughter. I don't know what the trilogy is called as a whole, but I read The Madman's Daughter a few years ago. It was a horror-esque kind of novel based on the novel The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. I haven't read that, but I do want to read that one as well. But either way, I haven't had the urge, as with all of these books, to pick up the next one in the trilogy, and I just don't think I'm ever going to, so I think I'll probably give it away. So there we are, those are all the books that I think I'll probably be getting rid of if I haven't already. Let me know down below if there are any kind of YA series or series full stop that you just aren't going to be reading. If you have any thoughts on the kind of YA little discussion that I had at the beginning of the video, do let me know down below. I'd be really interested in hearing what you have to say on it. On a side note, if you have any recommendations for adult, non-fiction, historical fiction specifically, because I've been really geared up to read historical fiction at the moment, anything like that, anything you think I'd really enjoy, please let me know down below, because I'd be really grateful to have some more books to add to my wish list. So that's everything for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I will leave links to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, everything I've mentioned today down below. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye! It was really quite dull. I also just generally didn't enjoy the tone of the book. I wasn't enjoying like listening to her and what she was having to say, so I gave this one